Business rarely begins with numbers. More often, it begins with a quiet internal decision. The decision to take responsibility. Responsibility for an idea, for people, for consequences that are not yet visible. At that moment, no one truly knows whether it will work. No one knows how long it will take or how many mistakes will be required. What matters is not certainty, but the willingness to deal honestly with reality. Reality in business is neither cruel nor kind. It is neutral. It does not respond to intentions, only to actions. Not to words, but to choices. Many confuse optimism with strategy and confidence with competence. But markets do not react to emotion. They react to value. Value is what remains when marketing fades, when promises end, when a customer asks a simple question: did this make my life better? A business that cannot answer this honestly will always be unstable, no matter how fast it grows. Wise people in business are rarely loud. They understand that noise is often a sign of haste, and haste is often a sign of fear. They know how to wait. They understand that time favors those who act consistently. Everything that truly matters grows slowly. Reputation grows slowly. Trust grows slowly. Skill grows slowly. Most mistakes are not caused by lack of information, but by refusal to accept uncomfortable truth. Truth may say that the product is weak, that the team is exhausted, that the strategy no longer fits reality. Ignoring these signals is easy. Correcting them is difficult. This difference separates management from self-deception. Money matters in business. Pretending otherwise is naive, but money is a consequence, not a compass. When money becomes the primary goal, it stops serving and starts ruling. Decisions narrow. Time horizons shrink. Compromises with integrity begin to feel reasonable. The cost of such decisions is always higher than it appears at first.
Good businesses are built on clarity. Clarity of purpose. Clarity of roles. Clarity of expectations. People work better when they understand why they are there and what is truly required of them. Not slogans. Not motivation speeches. Simple, honest clarity creates stability. Leadership is not control. It is the ability to create an environment where good decisions are made without force, where mistakes are not hidden, but examined, where responsibility is accepted, not shifted. When leaders fear truth, organizations learn to lie. Every business decision has a moral dimension, whether acknowledged or not. Who is hired? Who is dismissed? How prices are set? How delays are explained? These small choices shape culture, and culture, over time, shapes results. Risk is unavoidable. Recklessness is optional. Wise people ask not only what they might gain, but what they can afford to lose. They understand that survival is the foundation of all growth. A business that cannot survive error is too fragile to plan far ahead. Growth is a test. As companies grow, the number of decisions increases and the cost of mistakes rises. Old habits stop working. Personal agreements are replaced by systems. If values are not anchored early, they are the first to dissolve. Not every business must become large. Scale is not a synonym for success. For some, success means stability. For others, freedom. For others, the ability to work calmly and honestly. Wisdom lies in defining your own measure. Technology accelerates, but human nature changes slowly. People still value respect. They still react strongly to injustice. They still respond to honesty with trust. Businesses that forget this lose connection with their foundation. Negotiation reveals character more clearly than words. Short-term advantage gained by humiliating the other side almost always becomes a long-term problem. Strong agreements preserve dignity and leave space for the future. Financial discipline is respect for reality in numerical form. Reserves, simplicity, and deep understanding of numbers do not restrict freedom, they create it. Strategic freedom begins with financial order. Over time, one learns that the most durable companies are not built on brilliance, but on reliability. They do not aim to be exceptional every day. They aim to be consistently adequate every day. This compounds. Mentorship is the responsibility of experience. Knowledge shared strengthens not only those who receive it, but those who give it. Markets where knowledge circulates are more resilient than those where it is hoarded. Every business eventually faces succession if everything depends on one individual. Fragility is hidden beneath success. True leadership builds systems that grow stronger without constant presence. In the end, it becomes clear that the deepest satisfaction in business does not come from defeating competitors, but from remaining oneself under pressure, calm under stress, honesty under temptation, patience under uncertainty. Business is a long conversation with reality. Those who listen carefully, speak thoughtfully, and act responsibly are invited to remain in the conversation for a long time. Those who rush, exaggerate, or deceive may be heard briefly, but are soon forgotten. If there is one universal principle worth remembering, it is this: build slowly, think deeply, respect reality. Everything else is temporary. With experience comes a quieter understanding of what truly moves a business forward. It is rarely brilliance alone, and almost never intensity by itself. Sustainable progress is born from rhythm, the steady repetition of sound decisions made with care. In a world obsessed with acceleration, wisdom often expresses itself as patience. Patience is not passivity, it is disciplined waiting combined with constant preparation. Many businesses fail not because their ideas are weak, but because their foundations are thin. They expand before they stabilize, promise before they prove, and scale before they understand. A wise builder reinforces the base long before adding new floors. This means investing in processes that are boring, documentation that no one applauds, and conversations that feel uncomfortable but necessary. Strength is often invisible until pressure arrives. Focus is a form of courage. To focus is to disappoint many opportunities in order to honor a few commitments. The market will always offer more paths than a business can responsibly pursue. Saying yes to everything is a quiet form of fear, the fear of missing out, of being left behind, of choosing wrongly. Wisdom chooses deliberately, knowing that every choice excludes alternatives, and accepts that cost without regret. Numbers matter, but they never tell the whole story. Metrics are maps, not territory. They guide attention, but they should never replace judgment. When leaders worship metrics, people learn to manipulate them. When leaders use metrics as tools, people learn to improve reality itself. The question is not only what is measured, but how the measurements are discussed. Fear distorts data. Trust clarifies it. Consistency of behavior builds credibility faster than any announcement. Employers and partners listen less to what leaders say than to what they tolerate. Small compromises repeated over time quietly redefine standards. In the same way, small acts of integrity repeated daily create a culture that no crisis can easily break. Culture is not a statement, it is a pattern. Delegation marks the transition from individual contributor to leader. Yet many struggle with it, not because others are incapable, but because control feels safer than trust. True delegation includes authority, not just responsibility. Without authority, responsibility becomes a burden. Teaching others to decide well is slower than deciding alone, but it multiplies capacity in ways no individual effort can. Conflict is inevitable wherever people care about results. Avoiding conflict does not preserve harmony, it postpones clarity. Wise leaders address disagreements early, calmly, and with respect. They separate people from problems and insist on shared standards of truth. Unresolved conflict leaks into behavior, undermines trust, and eventually surfaces in destructive ways. There is a difference between confidence and certainty. Confidence allows learning, certainty resists it. Markets punish certainty because certainty ignores change. The wise business person holds strong opinions lightly, ready to revise them when evidence demands it. This intellectual humility is not weakness, it is adaptive strength. Crises reveal what routine conceals. Under pressure, values either guide action or disappear entirely. Preparation for crisis does not begin during emergency, it begins in ordinary days through habits. reserves, and honest communication. When difficulty arrives, people do not rise to the occasion, they fall to the level of their preparation. Innovation is not only about creating something new, it is also about letting go of what no longer serves. Attachment to past success can quietly block future relevance. The question is not whether something once worked, but whether it still deserves resources today. Letting go requires courage, especially when identity is tied to past achievements. Trust, once broken, is expensive to rebuild. Speed, convenience, and short-term gain often tempt businesses to test trust. Wise leaders understand that trust is an asset more fragile than capital and more valuable over time. They protect it through transparency, fairness, and consistency, even when no one is watching. Ultimately, leadership is less about being right and more about being responsible. Responsibility means owning outcomes, especially when explanations are available and excuses are tempting. It means standing between pressure and people, absorbing tension rather than distributing fear. This quiet strength is what people remember long after strategies change. In the long run, businesses succeed because they align with reality rather than fight it. They respect human limits, economic truths, and the passage of time. They understand that progress is not a straight line, and that endurance often matters more than brilliance. Wisdom does not eliminate difficulty, but it ensures that difficulty is meaningful rather than wasted. This is the deeper work of business: to build something that functions well, treats people fairly, adapts intelligently, and remains honest under pressure. Such enterprises may never dominate headlines, but they earn something rare: longevity. And in a world of constant disruption, longevity is quiet proof of wisdom.